All right, well, here's the carb off that 59 Li, and the throttle plate moves. There's a lot of play in it, and the bushings here, you can see that, a lot of play. The choke is frozen here, and what I'm going to do is try to take it apart and put it in my dunk tank overnight and see if we can free it up a little bit. So I'm going to attempt to get these 4 screws out that hold it together here, and I'm just going to heat this up with my map gap torch for a second to maybe loosen up those screws. We'll see. I'll try it first. If they don't budge, and I'm going to try it to heat it for a second, and we'll see if we can get it apart. All right, well, it came right apart. I didn't need any heat or anything, and it's got this typical white crap in there. So let's see. Yeah, so I think that I'll just chuck this right into the dunk tank. Hopefully the needle isn't destroyed. And as far as the upper half of the carb goes, the float looks good. I'll see if I can take the float off and save this gasket, and then we'll drop the top half into the dunk tank also. I'll take the needle out maybe, but yeah, I think this will work. All right, well, I got my stuff here. We're going to put it in my carb cleaner, which is getting really dirty because I've cleaned a lot of crap in here. Oh, come on, get under there. There we go. Perfect. Now, obviously the float is floating, so that's a good thing. I guess there's no holes in it, right? I'll just let it hang out there. All right, we'll put the lid on it, and we'll check back tomorrow. Well, this is the carb here. I pulled it out of the dunk tank after it's been in there for probably a week. The throttle shaft is free, which is good. And the choke shaft is still stuck. But I think we can persuade it with some pliers and get it going. It's actually not that bad. I'm going to just hose it off here with the air nozzle, and you know, we'll put it back together and see if we can get it running. Alright, the problem with this carb is that the needle is like totally disintegrated, all rusted out and nasty. So I'm going to see if I have a used one laying around. I got another one right here that's sitting on my workbench. It's a little bit cleaner. It's still a little pussy, but it's nicer than the one that was in there. The other problem is that the low speed needle over here is frozen into the casting. And I've had this happen before. And it's that whole deal about a piece of steel going into the aluminum. I'm going to heat it up a little bit with my map gas torch and see if I can grab the screw with a pair of needle nose vice grips and back it out. So we'll see what happens. You know, the head on the screw is all filled in. Maybe what I'll do instead is take a cutoff wheel into the slot of the head and see if I can clean up the head, because it would be a lot easier to use a screwdriver than a vice grip. So we'll give that a shot. I think we got it cleaned up a little bit. Let's see if I can get a screwdriver in there now. Yep, sure can. So let's clamp this down a hair. Let me get the torch and we'll heat it up. Hopefully the carb cleaner doesn't burn. We'll see what happens. little shot of this. And then we'll try it. Let's see. Yeah, we're going. Feels like it's going to break, so I'll go in. Heat it some more. Got a little wiggle. I'm going to get the vice grips. Get a little more heat. Yeah, she's hot, guys. She is a hottie. Got that same amount of travel that we did with the screwdriver. That's about it, huh? Doesn't want to go. Yeah, that little sucker is stuck in there. Good. You don't want to squeeze this too tight in the vise or it's going to break the casting. So you got to be really careful when you're doing this. I'm just working it back and forth here. See if we can, there we go. Well, maybe the vice grip just fell off. Maybe it's not as good as I thought it was. Let's see. Oh, man, that thing is hot. Whew. Yeah, it's not ever getting any better than it was when I started. I don't want to heat it too much. I don't want to melt the aluminum, but what else am I going to do? That's it. It gets to that one spot and it's stuck. Can force force it all day long. It doesn't want to go. The vice grips are just slipping, and that's it. Try some Croil in there. Ooh, it smells good. Son of a bitch, huh?